words are, my boyfriend left me and I don't have a place to live and I'm out in the rain and I have the sniffles. So it doesn't make them blues. There's a 32-bar form, it's not a blues. But a lot of people call things blues. So this is groove blues that isn't a blues. Very difficult professional level part. A lot of soloists. Here we go. decided that he was going to try something really tricky. Now, don't do this under any circumstances. So they're marching, they're practicing the formation. Kevin decides if he tosses his block Stradivarius as high as he could and spins it around, he can catch it and he can play it. So, it actually worked. He tossed it up 2 times and caught it 2 times. Then it comes time for the actual show. And of course, Bob didn't know who Kevin was going to do this. And so the show comes, and it comes time, and Kevin threw the horn up as high as he could. Only this time it went a little higher than he had planned. And for the first 2 times he really didn't think there was any game. This time he got uh-oh. And as the horn is coming down, he said it comes down in slow motion. And he sees Bob looking and saying, "What the heck?" And then he catches the trumpet, and he never did it again. But it was a success. Anyway, we're going to do our last tune. This is from the Duke Ellington book. And because Duke Ellington is a pianist, we're featuring our pianist. We're also featuring everybody. This is a jam. It's a C blues. And whoever wants to play is going to be invited to come on up front and play about the chorus. So, here we go with C jam blues. Starting out piano solo, let's take 24. 2 choruses, piano solo, and then into the head. Here we go. Before we do that, I have to tell you, our bass player, Kristen, went through a major surgical operation 2 days ago. She had 8 teeth removed, and a bunch of the teeth, the nerves were, the roots were wrapped around nerves. I can't believe, and she's here playing. Kristen's here. And so I asked the University of Regina our jazz bass player, Jason Harvey, who's playing. There's Jason.
the Regina Lions Band Jazz Ensemble number 1 under the direction of Dr. Ed Lewis. We have to do a very quick stage adjustment for the Private Lions concert band to come on. And while we're doing that, I want to share with you all that I just came to realization while I was sitting down there. I listened to Jazz number 1. Obviously I was listening, but I realized that it is the 12th of December and that I have yet to do 1 ounce of Christmas shopping. And my father is in the crowd tonight, and that means, yes, Dad, I have not bought you anything or given it an ounce of thought, which is starting to concern me. But it does bring up and segues nicely into the fact that for the drum corps fan, the fan of the Regina Lions Band, on your Christmas list, there is for sale here this evening, help for you, help for me. The Private Lions Drum Field Corps 2005 Summer Tour videos are here. This is a 1-hour documentary that captures essentially the essence of what the summer of 2005 was about for the Private Lions and for everybody that was there. And it makes a wonderful Christmas gift. $25 if you want to pick up your copy. You can get it here tonight. No pre-ordering, nothing like that. As I said before, my name is Mike Farmer. I didn't tell you my involvement with the program. For those of you who don't know, I'm the director of the marching program. One of our long-running traditions at the Regina Lions Band. And in 2005, the senior group, the Private Lions, undertook a new venture in its history. We decided to compete for the first time in an organization called Drum Corps International, which changes things a bit for our traditional marching program. However, it can be said that this is probably the most competitive venue on earth for the marching arts. The Private Lions took on this challenge in 2005 and won the Canadian National Championship, their first season out. And then went to Boston and placed 7th in their division on the planet. For those of you who don't know, I'm a former member of this program since the age of 7. And I can say without a doubt that as I've gone from junior member, beginner to senior member, and now to staff member, that there is no doubt in my mind that the level of performance that is provided by the current members of this program is absolutely at the highest level that it has ever been. And they represent our